Do you see it live on my page?
We're on.
We are?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Hey, so we're on. So I got to move this other window so I can see us. I can see what's going on here. So we are live on Facebook. My name is Kenyatta Turner. And if you're watching this, you're on my Facebook page. So you already know that. So that's kind of cool. But I have a special guest with me today for Freedom Friday. And it is attorney Zarinah Nadir. Hey, Zarinah.
Hey, Kenyatta. Good to see you. I miss you.
I know. I give you hugs, hugs through the thing because we've not seen each other in 3D. And this is the first time we've seen each other in 2D, like moving and talking, I think, at the same time. We've probably been on some Zoom calls, whatever, with other people, but it's not the same than just having this conversation with me and you right here in front of all the people, because I am so excited to have you on my Freedom Friday Live that I do every Friday, where we talk about a quote about freedom and we talk about whatever else I need to talk about. So we're going to do that. And sometimes I have a special guest, and I have you today. So if you are watching out there in TV land, I like to say, and I'm going to open this up on my Facebook too, because sometimes and people message and I can't like see, but if this is working, this is good. Okay. Yeah, we're totally live. Oh, I'm going to heart. I gave myself a heart. Okay, good. So if you are watching right now live, then please put a comment in there. Tell us where you're watching from. Give us a hashtag team live or a hashtag team replay, whatever, if I know you came back and watched it later. But this is so much fun. So we're going to talk about the Freedom Friday quote. And then I'm going to spend some time talking to you and having you get to know my dear friend, attorney Zarinah Nadir. Now, I said attorney. That means I know people. Okay. I know all kinds of people. And we're going to talk about, look at the background, her background. She's got this book called Legally Savvy that launches tomorrow to the masses. I haven't read it. I'm waiting to get my copy. Okay. Like tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about that, and you're going to get to know her and all the great things. I'm so excited to have you here, Zarinah, and honored. So what would you like to say to the people in TV land before we get started?
Oh my gosh. First and foremost, thank you for having me. I miss you so much. You give so much, and you just do so much for us and for our society. Aww. And I love you. And I'm happy to be here. I'm honored to be here.
It's gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I can say the same thing about you. Like looking at you right now, I'm like, oh, God, I need to see you. You know what I'm saying? So sooner. So soon. So this is gonna be good. All right. So let me do this. I'm gonna practice here. Now we're on Zoom because StreamYard. If you're listening, you need to fix whatever's going on with my StreamYard, because this should be StreamYarded and it should be in 3 locations at once. And it's not. It is in 1 location right now. And I'm recording it because after it's done, I'm going to have to post it in other 2 locations and then post it on my YouTube. It's going to go on my YouTube as well. And so, but yeah, StreamYard's tripping right now. It's giving me this weird error. And if you're watching this and you know what that weird error is, because maybe it's happened to you, then put in the comments or be like, Kenyatta, this is what you got to do to fix it. Because some reason when I hit the broadcast button, it just spins and then it says, oops, we're sorry. Either connect to the internet, or if you are connected, then it's our problem. We're sorry. And I'm like, okay, that's not acceptable. So I'm mad about that. Anyway, I love you, StreamYard. That's what my friend Suki calls it, StreamYard. I love you, StreamYard. But I'm not in love with you right now. So we don't want to get this fixed. So we're doing it in Zoom. So Zoom's our bestie right now. And I'm going to screen share with you the quote. So let's talk about that. And let's just see here. If I screen share, boom. Can you see my screen?
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is the quote of the day. So what I do every Friday, I post a quote and regarding freedom. So my company is called Freedom Empire Consulting. So that's not really an accident or anything like that. But to me, Freedom Empire it's more of a state of mind than it is a physical place. It could be a place for someone, but it is the mindset that you have around creating the life that you want without allowing others to oppress your freedoms, but more importantly, don't oppress yourself. I think sometimes, we put limitations on ourselves, and that's the reason why we're not where we want to be, because we're putting the blockers on. We're literally chaining ourselves up. And I think that when we understand how much power we have, then we can release those chains. We can be of service to other people, and we can live the life of our dreams. I truly believe that. So the Freedom Empire, I think, really starts up here. And so when I looked up the word freedom, when I was actually naming my company, there was just so many different ways to look at this word that really kind of fascinated me, which got me inspired to talk about this word every Friday. And I find other ways that other people think about it too. And it's just for conversation and dialogue. So John Goodwin says, freedom of conscience is a natural right, both antecedent and superior to all human laws and institutions, whatever. He says, a right which laws never gave and a right which laws can never take away, the freedom of conscience, right? To have that freedom. So I wrote in my little post earlier, I put here that as a noun, freedom is the power to write, act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. I put, yet there are countless interpretations and we explore them together. So I love this quote by John Goodwin because it's an insightful and stark reminder of the power to have governance over our own consciousness. In every country and society, there's some level of rules, laws, and standard norms that are established by humans for other humans. Yet in this context of freedom, those laws hold no value. I put, we have this freedom if we choose and to do with what we will. It cannot be given and it cannot be taken away. And then I say, freedom, an absolute state of mind. That's always like my ending question. So then it is, what are your thoughts on this quote as it relates to freedom? So that was a little bit of idea how I think about it, but Attorney Zarinah Nadir, now that you are here as a guest on my show. So I would love to know, what are your thoughts about this quote as it relates to freedom?
Yeah, well, it's a really powerful quote. You know, when I think about freedom and freedom of conscience, I really think about prisoners, political prisoners in particular. And I go back to thinking about Nelson Mandela and to think that he could have been imprisoned. He didn't have his freedom. His freedom was taken away by institution, by the laws of the land at that time, which were, really unconscionable. But he remained free according to his state of mind.
Yes.
And so that allowed him, when he was ultimately released, when the human laws changed and he was released, he was able to move forward. He was able to even forgive, some of the oppression that he endured. And it's a really powerful recognition that freedom really is from within. And no one can really take it away from you. I think about my ancestors, brothers and sisters who were enslaved in this country, and they retained their compassion still, their humanity, when humans and their institutions were seeking to snuff that out from them. So remaining free of conscience and of mind is everything. Everything.
Well said. Mic drop. Yes. And I love this. I love the opportunity to have conversations with other people about these types of topics and about freedom, because oftentimes my Freedom Friday empire is a monologue. It's just me kind of talking and sharing, and it's always a pleasure to be able to have other people here who can share what their thoughts are, because those out there listening, you may read the quote and you have your own opinion about it, or maybe you're looking to explore it deeper, but then you hear what I might share or Attorney Zarinah might share, and you're like, oh, okay, wow, I didn't think about it like that, right? And so again, it's a word that has many, it can be used in many contexts. And I love this particular quote and about the laws. Now, it isn't by accident that this particular quote has to do with some laws, because I have my friend, Attorney Zarinah Nadir, who knows a lot about laws, here to have a conversation too. And I want to introduce you to her, but thank you so much for offering your insight. I'm going to stop sharing on this so that, because in StreamYard, I'd be able to still have it up, but now I need to stop share about that quote. So we'll put that up before we go again. But those of you, that is the quote. You can see that on my page. You can screenshot it, share it, whatever, you know how that works. So let's talk about Zarinah Nadir, Attorney Zarinah Nadir, and her book, Legally Savvy, which I haven't even read it, but I'm sure I would have to guess the word freedom is probably in there somewhere. In some sort of way, that word probably is in there, or it's talking about that and what well, I don't want to ruin it. I want you just to tell us a little bit about it, without telling us all the big secrets, because we're going to get it and read it. But why don't you just take a moment, and I'm going to actually screen share something else while I put this up. Introduce yourself to the peoples, oh, and I should tell you guys before this. So I've known Zarinah, I'm going to say it's 7 years. Because I started with a company that both of us are a part of. It's called Legal Shield. We're both independent associates. I started and met her probably right when I came in, because we're both in Phoenix. So I'm sure I met you right away. And that was July 2014 when I started. Wow. I don't know where the time goes.
Time is flying. Oh, I remember seeing you the first day. I remember.
Did you? Okay, first day. So
I do. I remember. And we walked and we connected, and I think we've been inseparable ever
seriously
since.
We hit it off like that, right away. And I can't believe it's already been 7.5 years now. Right. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Where does the time go? So we've been connected in like-minded projects, and we just have a sense, again, we just connected right away. I don't even know what it was, where we just saw things in a similar way. We had similar values in the way we looked at the world and how we treated people and what we wanted for people and how we wanted to help people. I mean, it wasn't all the same, but so much of it was just in such alignment that it just clicked in, and even though we didn't always see each other every day or hang out or talk every day, none of that mattered. It was always it didn't matter how much time transpired. When we saw each other again, we're like, hey, you know what I mean? And I would watch, you grow through what you've been growing through, and you've been watching me grow through what I've been growing through. And then, a pandemic happened. Okay, whoa. All right. So no one saw that coming. So then, well, some people probably saw it coming. Either way. So that came, and then, we haven't really connected as much, right? We weren't seeing each other in person on the regular like we were before, but we were talking earlier, the socials make it to where I feel like I know kind of what's going on, because you post often and I post, I try to be consistent, as well. So we still feel like we know what's going on, but then all of a sudden I see her start posting about this book, I'm writing this book and check it out. And then there's photo shoots. And I'm like, what is going on here? Now you talked about writing a book before. You obviously had said that to me before. But it's interesting how things have transpired over the last couple of years. And people, it's almost like you make a decision either to thrive or survive when a situation happens that seems like it could be extremely, life-changing and world-changing, which obviously we've been through that. But it's also been really cool watching all the things that people are doing that they've thought about and never did, or made plans, and there's always something else going on that's stopping them. And I'm just surrounded by so many people that are just building their own freedom empires, because that to me is a freedom empire, right? That's part of it. What you want, when you want, for as long as you want, come back when you want, got money in the bank when you come back, whatever. Freedom, you know what I'm saying? Seriously. And what you're doing, it to me is it's like a brick in your freedom empire, this book. So I'm just saying this for the people who are watching, who are like, why is she even on here? How did she know each other? She is a dear, dear friend of mine. I have much, much, much love for this woman. And I'm so excited about what she's doing and what she's about to unleash upon the world in this book. And I wanted to bring her on, introduce her to my community, and just share the love. So that is why you were here. Thank you for being here. I'm going to bring a little screenshot up and show you guys a little picture while I let her take the floor right now and tell us about herself.
Well, thank you so much. I did not forget. I've not forgotten the day we met. And it has been just wonderful ever since to see you. And like you said, regularly make the decision to thrive. You are the poster child of that, and I just absolutely love it. And so as it relates to this book, what's amazing is it is a series of events, and I would definitely say the pandemic had something to do with it as well. As an attorney, and I've been practicing for about 13 years now. I started my law school career 18 years ago. Wow. And this was actually on the heels of a couple of major incidents within society, which I think really could speak to why I came down to this point with Legally Savvy. One was the extremely tragic events of September 11th. So that was exactly 20 years ago. I was a senior in undergrad during that time.
Okay.
And I was the vice president of the Muslim Students Association at Arizona State University.
ASU, that's
large,
right.
That's right. Yes, extremely large university in the country, for those of you who don't know. And during that time of September 11th, there was a lot of things that were going on. My family's from New York, so we personally had that reaction and that experience to it as well. But immediately following, there was a backlash on the Muslim community. And so I saw the challenge, and I was majoring in Spanish at that time, Kenyatta. That's my major. And I was expecting to become a diplomat or to become a professor, work with the UN, something like that. And then when I noticed the aftermath and the backlash on just the regular Muslim community, something that was akin to what happened after Pearl Harbor was bombed, and there was a backlash on the Japanese American community, also similar to in the 50s and 60s of the African American communities, and the overreaching of authority to in an attempt to gain answers and such. I noticed and I saw that there were members of our community who were being harassed. Their rights were being trampled on. And I realized at that point, there's another language I need to learn, and that's the law.
The lingo language.
Exactly. Because we saw members of our community who were, one, asked to come down for interviews with the FBI, and some of them did not come back. And so I knew that it was, for many of us, we just were not legally savvy. We did not know how to speak to authorities so that we could, receive our rights. We didn't know what they were allowed to do and what we were allowed to do, right? So all of that is part of being legally savvy. So that was one thing that kind of got me to even the door of becoming an attorney, which also kind of leads here. But secondly, it's the 20th anniversary of Legally Blonde.
What?
The movie Legally Blonde. It is, right? So, and I didn't realize this was the 20th anniversary of Legally Blonde. So interestingly, my first year of law school, I meet the author. She comes to my school. They have a round table, yes, of Legally Blonde. She's a fellow attorney as well. Then I was a law student who was just very excited about, right? So you have this convergence of this incredible, horrific dynamic experience. And then you have this other experience of making law accessible and funny and interesting, right?
Right.
And that was the beginning of my legal career.
Nice.
So as I progressed throughout the law, I've also been, just someone who's believed that, what's the point of having scholarship if people don't feel like they can actually approach it?
They can actually access it. Yes.
Exactly. So being in practice, I just saw the hindrances of people, that they were coming to me way too late. They were checking their wallets before they were checking their rights. They thought that, issues had to be extremely severe to come and talk to me and to get assistance and to get help. And I just saw that was causing people a lot of problems. They were dealing with legal issues that could have been prevented. They are catching it at the legal pneumonia level instead of catching it at the legal cough level when it could have been resolved sooner.
I love how you say that. I totally tell people that. I'm like, get it when it's a cough before it becomes pneumonia. My friend Z said that. I'm glad you said that again.
Isn't it just so it just
makes sense.
Makes sense, right? Okay. And so I noticed that, and then my progression occurred. So what I saw was people didn't have the mindset of how to utilize the legal system. They weren't aware that their issues were legal in nature. And so the only concept that the rest of us have of legal issues is someone's being arrested, someone's being sued, someone's going to jail, something catastrophic.
There's blood on the floor, something like that.
So now we got to call the coroner, right? But guess what? That's the perception that the rest of us have. Yeah. The super wealthy who've had access to attorneys, they've been trained on that, raised up on that. Right. They know when a legal issue is at the cough level and they're able to catch it at that level. Yeah. The rest of us, we don't. Right. And so that is caught, and the benefits of them being able to do that, that's trickled up to them, their kids, their families, and their communities.
Yes.
The rest of us is trickled, the consequences have trickled down to us, our families, and our community. So that's one thing I saw. Secondly, when I was guided to learn about this incredible organization, Legal Shield, where we met, and I saw how there was a system now in place where people didn't have to check their wallets to check their rights. It's an extremely affordable option to be able to have top-notch quality access, really the kind of consultation and the availability of consultation the way the super wealthy have. It's incredible.
Right.
But guess what? I still saw people who would have that access and still sit it on the shelf.
They wouldn't call.
Say, haven't we seen that? Where they say things like, I hope I don't have to use it. I got it, but I hope I don't have to use it.
Right, right.
And those of us who are legally savvy are saying, that's what the rest of us say.
Yes.
That's not what the legally savvy say. The legally savvy say, I should be using this. If I haven't used this yet, there's something I'm probably missing. There's a contract that I probably signed, right? There's a decision I probably made where I was doing some Hail Mary decisions, right? Crossing flags, knocking on wood, right? All kinds of things,
crossing the fingers,
putting it on Facebook, just getting random advice,
right. Crossing my toes, everything.
And so when we still have the access, we're still not using it. And so I said, it's the mindset. We weren't, those of us who weren't raised with it, that's really the rest of us. I'm one of them. I wasn't raised with privileged access to attorneys, right? And this is a skill set that we all can learn. And that's the secret. That's the secret that the super wealthy have. But it's the secret that I want to reveal to the rest of us. This is how we can get it through legal.
So that's what happens in your book.
That's what happens.
Ooh. I'm so excited. Well, I already feel like I'm legally savvy. So I'm going to read it to get more legally savvy.
There you go.
And then, but also be able to understand and get into the mindset of the people who I'm trying to serve and trying to help that I know are not legally savvy. I mean, I get the questions, or I get someone who has the service who calls me and says, this thing just happened. I'm like, call your lawyer. Why are you calling me? You know what I mean? Because their mindset is still not locked in to the fact that they have access because they never did before. They don't know, so I am so excited about your book and to help let people know all about it. That's why I got it on the screen. So those of you who are paying attention, you can see. So I guess if you want to register for this is the graduation. It's happening tomorrow. This is the launch of it, right? That's 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is 12 Arizona time and Pacific time. I don't know what time it is anywhere else. So they can just go to this website right here and register for that graduation, and then they'll get access to how to buy the book. Is that how that works?
Absolutely. That's the link to watch the graduation and also be present for the launch. And then also get the link to purchase the book at that time. That's our bestseller hour. So we're driving everyone to that time, that day, that time to purchase their books so that we can go bestseller. Because when we do, that will raise the book, but more importantly, that will raise the importance of legal empowerment.
Sweet. Yes. So people in TV land, pay attention to this. Okay. And I'm obviously going to, this is recorded, this will be here, but I'm going to post it in my, my Facebook group, the Personal Development Party. I'm going to post it on my, my business page for Freedom Empire Consulting. And then, and I think I can post it on LinkedIn too. I'm just going to post it on places so people know, and hopefully I can help drive some more traffic there because people clearly need to know about this again, because the question is out there, people in TV land, are you legally savvy? And if you aren't, or don't even know what that is, then if you don't know what that is, then you probably aren't. If you're wondering, should I be? The answer is yes. The answer is truly yes, because again, you are, wherever you live, you're in this country, you're subjected to the laws of this country, whether you know them or not. So how do you go about getting access to knowing what they are if you're not an attorney like Zarinah? So, or you didn't get raised with attorneys, or you don't got one in your family, and they probably don't take all your calls anyway. So,
what's interesting? I had one of my reviewers as actually a judge, and she served as she was the first African-American woman judge on the Arizona Superior Court. I mean, a legal scholar, legal jurist, and she reviewed the book. And she said, this is actually a must read for everyone, whether they're a lawyer, a judge, or a litigant, right? A regular everyday person.
Excellent.
And it's because a lot of even those who are attorneys and they've been in the traditional practice, so many of them aren't able to, they haven't even come to the point where they can reveal the secrets that I get to reveal. Because in the traditional model, they know, most of us attorneys know, regular people aren't going to be able to talk to attorneys.
You're not going to be able to afford it. Yeah.
So they just deal with them at the catastrophes because they know typically that's when people are going to come to them. So they're not even there yet to say, listen, I'd love to be able to tell you, come before your contract ends you up in court.
But I'm never going to see you to tell you that.
I'm never going to see you to tell you that. And it also gives insight into just the insight of the typical person, right? Yeah. Because I'm the rest of us. I grew up that way also. Yeah. So dismantling that for really all layers of society, the individuals, but also fellow lawyers who are still bound by the traditional model that really price locks out most people from having any access to them.
At all.
Right? And then also the judges and those who are making rulings on people who haven't had the experience and haven't had the exposure, and they haven't had the exposure to them, to us, to our life experiences. Right. So
it's just disconnect all the way around,
around.
So your thing is going to bring it all together. Exactly. So I love to say so everyone should read this. So all the people. So listen out there in TV land, all the people. Okay. Should definitely check this out. So I am excited. I'm going to put your little screenshot back up here again. And then I'm looking at the timing of this and it's perfect because I want to participate and will be participating, but I have, so those of you who are listening, one announcement I need to give you right now is, who don't know that I'm the host of a radio show called the Healthy Grocer Radio Show. So we broadcast live on Money Radio 1510 AM or 105.3 FM every Saturday at 11 a.m. And so we talk about all things related to wellness, mind, body, spirit, naturopathic methods, all natural. That's what we talk about. Now, I am not the expert. Okay. Those who know me probably know, like, what is Kenyatta even talking about? I am not the expert. I'm the student. I'm the host. And we have experts come on the show. And I've got two co-hosts who go back and forth with me, who are holistic pharmacists. And we have conversations about lots of different things. And tomorrow we're talking about essential oils. So I have someone who's going to be a guest. Al Garcia is going to be on as our guest. And he's going to be talking about essential oils and all the different ways that they can improve your health and wellness. And the show ends right at 12. So right at 12, I'm going to jump off of the show and then on to your thing. So I'm just saying that. So those of you who might want to listen to the radio show until Zarinah's thing, then do that. And if you can listen to the radio show, if you are in Arizona, by actually going to the actual radio, if you know what that is, if you know what a radio is. I know most people are like, what are you talking about, Kenyatta? Like, people listen to the radio. People still listen to the radio. So you can go there and tune in live, or you can go to moneyradio1510.com and it's streamed live. So you can listen to it either on the radio or stream. And then of course we record them all for podcasts. You can listen to past episodes. But I am so excited about the show, because I'm always learning about new ways to just make myself better, healthier mind, body, and spirit. My body's got to keep up with my mind. That's what I'm trying to work on right now. Is like, body, keep up with me. Can't even snap my fingers. See, there you go. Body, keep up with me. Right. And then as soon as you do that, then go to Zarinah's graduation and participate, get the book, help it get to a bestseller, and support the people, because we are the people and we're cool people. So you can help support us.
Power to the people.
Anything else? Yeah, power to the people. Anything else you want to throw in there, Zarinah, before we wrap up?
I just want to say thank you for having me here. Being legally savvy is a choice. Being legally savvy is a skill set. And it's a level of self-defense also. A lot of times we learn how to, maybe use some mace or karate, but being legally savvy is also a tool to be able to protect ourselves, to empower ourselves, to feel more confident. We know when we, have mace and we're like, I can walk, at night, so for example.
You're empowered,
Exactly.
Exactly.
So when you're legally savvy, then we can engage in our love life more confidently, more vibrantly, less, fearful and scared. We can engage in our business life and really every aspect in between. And so this is really an opportunity for all of us to just live a more vibrant and healthy and wealthful life.
I love it. And continue to build and shield your freedom empire. That's what I say, because it's all about all the things, right? All, like you said, your life, your business, your love life, all that. It's all important. So this is so good. And I'm so excited. And let me just say, I am over the moon ecstatic for you and proud of you. So proud that you have, made this happen. And I'm so excited to see like what comes of this, like not only for the people that you help, but for you as well. Cause you put work into that, and you're like a force to be reckoned with. And it's just so much fun, like watching, you grow and develop us together, so it's cool. Absolutely. I'm excited.
Well, I really appreciate that. And I can say all the same for you. You are going places, and I look forward to us linking arms and going and growing together. But yes. I love you so much, and I appreciate you.
Love you. Hearts. Yes, appreciate you. So those of you out there watching, thank you so much for sticking with us through this conversation. This was a really powerful, very important episode of Freedom Friday Live. And I appreciate if you stuck here to the end. You are rock stars. And if you got any questions, you know how to reach us. You know how to reach Zarinah. I put the little thing up here. I'm going to pop it up here one more time as we get out of here. So if you want to join tomorrow, go to the graduation, support the book, support her. September 25th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to www.power Author Academy. I was gonna say authority. I was like, I can't even read. PowerAuthorAcademy.com/graduation. And you said there's many people graduating, as well, who wrote books as well. And so this is so super exciting. So it's not just Zarinah's amazing book. There'll be other amazing authors that will be showcasing their books. So you like to read, go check it out. Right. And then, so Zarinah, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for watching. And then we'll see you guys next time. Zarinah, we will be in touch. We need to see each other in 3D. Okay. Actually, we'll probably see each other next weekend, right?
Next weekend. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. We're totally going to see each other next weekend for sure. So, perfect time.
One day at a time, but yeah.
Next there. All right. Bye, love. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.